The train slid into Lauterbrunnen station beneath a sky the color of slate. Snow pressed heavily against the valley, muffling every sound except the hiss of brakes and the soft clink of luggage wheels over icy stone. Olivia tightened her scarf and glanced at her brother, Daniel, who was bent over his phone, thumbs flying. "This is it," he muttered, pocketing the device. "This is it," she answered, pointing at the jagged ridges beyond the village, already dusted white. "Our cabin's up there." They were meeting two friends, Marcus, a Zurich native who had grown up hiking these trails, and Lara, Olivia's closest confidant from university. The four of them had planned this winter escape for months. 3 nights in a mountain lodge, snowshoeing, and a reprieve from the world. Marcus greeted them outside the station with a booming laugh, his tall frame wrapped in a wool coat. Lara was quieter, though her hug lingered as if she needed the warmth. The group trekked through the village, past shuttered chalets and frozen waterfalls. The air smelled of pine and smoke, yet beneath it lingered something metallic, sharp. Olivia tried not to notice. The cabin was remote, reachable only by a narrow trail that wound through spruce forest. Their boots sank into untouched snow. As the last light drained from the valley, the trees pressed closer, branches clawing the dusk. When the lodge appeared, it was sudden, a squat structure of timber and stone perched on a rise. Inside, the fire crackled, and for a while the night felt ordinary. They drank wine, shared stories, and let the mountain silence cradle them. But when Daniel stepped outside to smoke, he returned pale. "There was someone in the trees," he said. His voice shook. "Watching." Marcus frowned. "Hunters, maybe. People pass through." No, Daniel's eyes darted toward the window. They weren't moving, just standing there. The others dismissed it, but Olivia couldn't shake the image. She pulled the curtains tight, feeling the darkness breathe against the glass. That night, the storm rolled in. Wind slammed against the shutters. Snow hissed down in sheets. Olivia lay awake, listening. Just before sleep claimed her, she heard it, faint but distinct. A knock. 3 deliberate taps on the wood outside her room. Morning brought wide out. The world beyond the cabin was erased, only endless swirling snow pressing against the windows. Marcus checked the forecast on his phone, but there was no service. "We wait it out," he said, forcing a smile. "Storms pass." But the storm did not pass. The second day stretched long, claustrophobic. They played cards, read by the fire, and rationed food though Marcus insisted they had plenty. Daniel grew restless, pacing the hall. Lara hardly spoke, eyes always drifting toward the windows as though expecting something. By late afternoon, the power flickered and died. The cabin sank into shadows. They lit candles, the flames bending in the draughts that whistled through the beams. Olivia swore she heard movement outside, snow crunching, slow and measured. "Foxes," Marcus reassured. "Animals come close during storms." But that night, while the others slept, Olivia woke to voices. Not from her friends, but from outside. They were hushed, guttural, speaking a language she didn't recognize. She pressed her ear to the wall. The voices grew clearer, then stopped, as if they sensed her listening. A scream tore her awake at dawn. Daniel's bed was empty, blankets thrown aside. His footprints led out the back door, already half buried by drifting snow. They followed them, stumbling into the blizzard, shouting his name until their throats burned. The tracks ended at the tree line. Beyond it, nothing, just white. Marcus pulled them back. He must have wandered. "We can't, if we get lost too." His words collapsed under the weight of panic. Back inside, Lara whispered, "He wouldn't just leave." Something took him. The storm howled, drowning their fear. By evening, the cabin groaned as though under great weight. Olivia found scratches on the back door, long parallel grooves cut into the wood. Not claws. Not random. Deliberate. That night, the knocking returned. 3 sharp raps, followed by silence. This time, they all heard it. On the 3rd day, food dwindled and firewood grew scarce. The storm still raged, but desperation clawed at them. Marcus decided they had to try for the village. "We'll freeze here if we stay," he insisted. "Better to move." Wrapped in layers, they set out into the blinding snow. Wind lashed their faces, erasing the path. Trees loomed, black against the white. 4 hours they trudged, silence broken only by their ragged breathing. Then Lara stopped. "Listen." Through the storm came a sound, bells. Faint, metallic, echoing between the peaks. They followed it, drawn like moths, until the forest opened into a clearing. There stood an old chapel, its steeple crooked, half buried in snow. The bells tolled, though no rope swung them. The air felt heavier here, pressing on their lungs. Inside, the chapel smelled of mold and iron. Broken pews lay scattered. At the altar, a crude carving of antlers and bone was mounted on the wall, draped with tattered cloth. Candles guttered though no one had lit them. "This isn't right," Olivia whispered. Marcus scanned the room, jaw tight. "It's old. Abandoned." But Lara knelt by the altar, tracing symbols carved into the wood. "It's not abandoned." Her eyes glistened strangely in the candlelight. "It's waiting." A noise behind them, boots crunching snow. Shadows moved in the doorway. Figures cloaked in black fur and masks of wood and horns stepped inside, silent as stone. Their faces were hidden, their breaths clouding in the cold air. Marcus grabbed Olivia's arm, pulling her toward the side door. They bolted into the storm, Lara's scream cutting behind them. The forest swallowed them whole. They ran until their legs failed, collapsing against a fallen log. Olivia gasped for air, snow burning her lungs. "We left her," she cried. Marcus stared into the trees. "She stayed." His voice was flat. "She chose." But in the distance, the bells kept tolling. Night fell heavy. Marcus and Olivia stumbled through the forest, half frozen, searching for the cabin. But every direction looked the same. Trees, snow, endless dark. At last they found it, a shadow against the slope. Relief surged until Olivia noticed the door hung open, snow spilling inside. The fire was out. The interior reeked of damp wood and ash. On the table lay Daniel's scarf, stiff with ice. "They brought it back," Marcus muttered, voice hollow. Olivia turned slowly. In the far corner, shapes stirred. Figures again, cloaked in black, antlers crowning their heads. They did not move, did not speak, just watched. Marcus lunged, swinging a chair, but the figures did not flinch. The candles blew out, plunging the room into darkness. When light returned, Marcus was gone. Only his boots remained by the hearth. Olivia stumbled backward, choking on terror. She fled into the night, snow swallowing her screams. She ran until her body failed, collapsing on a ridge. Below her stretched the valley, peaceful and moonlit. The storm had lifted. She saw the village lights twinkling, impossibly far. Behind her, the bells began again. Slow, measured. She turned, and there was Lara, standing at the edge of the trees. Her face was pale, eyes blank, lips moving in rhythm with the bells. "Come back," Lara whispered. It's not so cold if you stop fighting it. Figures emerged around her, their shadows merging with the pines. Olivia crawled backward, breath tearing from her chest. The last thing she heard before the snow closed over her was the knocking, 3 deliberate taps, echoing through the hollow peaks. And then silence.